hey, how are you? I'm happy to set up time. Yeah, I felt like it was good to have a conversation. Because I know when you emailed and said that our one-on-ones feel like therapy sessions, yeah, I think it's important to talk about that because I know that you've had a lot going on. And sometimes it's like you just need to get it out. But I just want to talk because, okay, half kidding. Okay, I totally get it. But I just think it's important as your manager to talk about it because when people make comments like that, like I can have all sorts of approaches, I guess. I could say nothing and just like, okay. But I think it's really important because I do know that you've had things going on. And I appreciate you sharing that with me because I know a lot of times at work, you're like, don't want to share things or you feel like you have to keep them inside. And so I always want you to share what you're comfortable with. But as a manager, no, hopefully you can tell, I do not subscribe to that theory that like work is work. And so you don't need to apologize for having things happen in your life. But what I want to do is make clear the ways I can support you, but also other things that we have access to. Because when you say things like therapy, it is helpful to talk it out. But as a manager, like I go through like, from experience and training and all of that. To me, it's really important. Like, yes, work has to get done. And so there's skills and things like that my job is to help make sure you know how to do the job. We talk about goals. We hopefully set them together and you know what's expected of you. But also when things happen, that I am someone that you can flag to those. But my training is limited. So, for example, if you're going through something and you're really struggling, I'm here for you. And whether you just like want to hear it out and you're not looking for someone to give you advice, that is totally fine. But also, when you're really going through things, it can be helpful to know that there are people that are equipped to help you through it. No, you don't have to apologize truly for taking up time. My job is to work with our team, but that doesn't mean I have like a strict, spreadsheet of spending this much of time with everybody. Treating everyone on our team and supporting everyone fairly doesn't mean treating everybody exactly the same. And sometimes you're going to need more attention than other times, and that's just what happens. And so no, it wouldn't be fair if I had one team member and I'm only giving attention and only, trying to do that. And I also can't solve some of your problems for you or some of the things that you're going with. But what I can do is be clear about, I'm here to listen. I'm here to think about, okay, if you're going through that, and like, again, our best will be very different on different days. And so on days when you're like, this is good, like, okay, like, let's go at it. But when you're having a more challenging day, it's not going to do well for anybody, for you, not for me, the whole team, if you're trying to get through things and your head's just not in it. And so we have to figure it out. I mean, sometimes it's, okay, this needs to be done. So what can you do? What can I help with to make it easier? What can others? And sometimes it's hard. I mean, as a manager, I certainly struggle with that of, okay, how do I make sure people have support, but also we have things to get done. So sometimes it's like, how can we get that done? How can we live with that getting done? What are things that are important? But other times, like things like taking time off or things like resources, because from a therapy perspective, like I'm not going to ever ask you, like, have you gone through therapy? I'm not going to do that. And hopefully managers don't ask those questions. But what I can do is say, hey, do you know that there are resources? And that's why I talk to, and our managers, we talk to the HR team to get a sense of what benefits there are. And I'm always happy to connect you with them to provide more specific details if you have questions. But we have things like, potential for time off if you ever need it, or our employee assistance program. And so what that is whether someone is in our benefits or not, with us as an employer, you and any like spouse, dependents, like kids, like again, like HR can have some of those details, but household, some household members can take advantage of things. And there are things like real therapy. So people that are trained for these. So my role as a manager is first to be a human. Like you're going through something. The first thought in my head is not going to be, okay, then what does that mean for my work? It is to hear what is going on and to relate. But no, there are things I can't solve for you, but then to think, okay, so work is a part of that. How can we support you in work? And so in those conversations, I'm not going to jump in and be like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Of like trying to solve things for you. That is a role that can be helpful for someone like in a therapy situation, people that are trained to help you think through everything, the work aspects, the life aspects. And so I do want you to know we have access to resources like that. And so with our employee assistance program, EAP, again, the employer pays for that. So you have a number of sessions. Those can be virtual sessions, those can be in person, and the providers can talk about all those details, but those are there and they can be really helpful, like whether you're going through something on the work aspect or it's at life. And so just knowing that I, as a manager, am always trying to figure out how to make, get things done at work. I want our team to perform and do well and meet our organizational goals and beat those goals. I want that for all of us, because that leads to a lot of things that can happen. Makes raises easier. It's, it's much more pleasant than having someone go down your neck of like how work gets done. But also we are people. And so sometimes you'll be able to like totally meet those goals and sometimes you will not. And so I'm not a therapist. I'm not trained at those things. And so as you're going through things, again, like if I'm, for example, like when I say like meet with people, that's why I have one-on-ones and keep those so you have the time. Because in the middle of things, I won't always be able to like put things to a side and meet on the spot. But I always want to have times that you can know, like if I can't meet you right then, it's not because I don't care. It may be because I just can't. And we have other team members. But knowing that you have dedicated time, that we can talk through things, and always, how can these things get done? How can, and help to think through those, and to remind you as well, like whatever it is, you'll get through it, but that you are open to share whatever you want. But so everything that I'll do is to talk through with you with an eye towards getting things done in the short term, thinking through growing in your career. But I'm not, I know people say like your manager's not your friend, but I want to have, friendly and respectful relationships with all employees, and for you not to be a source where you're ever afraid to tell me of something or you feel like you can't. But knowing I might have limitations because I might not know what to do or say. And I don't, like a lot of people, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I can be a listening ear, but also at times direct you to resources that can hear you out and talk through and really be that person to you. And of course, friendships in and outside of work, absolutely. But that's why when you said like these are like our therapy sessions, it's important that I think I want you to know the access to resources that we have. It is, so it's no cost. It's no cost for those sessions. Again, I'm happy to. Yep, I'm happy to. I can either get the information from HR or I connect you to them. Okay. But when you do those, so you can have that, and that can be an outlet that I've gone through it again, just to also to go through it and see what that's like, what our EAP is like, and what that experience is like. And it can be nice to have someone that you can count on. That's not another like charge. You don't have to think about budgeting. But so we do have access to those things, and it is important that I am here as your manager, and I do absolutely care about you as a professional and you as a person. But I also want you to have that support from people and resources that can help you and give you that level, and be available as much as they can. Okay. Yeah, I'll get that for you.